Most Wuyang players are losing fights before they even fire their first orb. They stand too close, heal too much, and completely misunderstand what this hero is designed to do. The result? Low damage, weak healing, and feeling completely useless in team fights. But once you understand how Wuyang actually creates pressure, he becomes one of the strongest supports in the game. In this guide, I'll show you the positioning, combos, mechanics, and hidden interactions that separate average Wuyang players from great ones. After countless hours and reaching masters on Wuyang, I've been able to test damage breakpoints, healing interactions, and positioning at higher ranks, and this is what actually matters. Before we talk abilities, we need to talk about mindset, because if you misunderstand Wuyang's role, everything else falls apart. Most players treat him like a traditional healer. That's the wrong approach. Wuyang isn't designed to sit back and pump heal numbers. He's a pressure support. Your job is to constantly force the enemy team to react while keeping your own team stable enough to win the fight. That means applying damage whenever possible, maintaining healing uptime, creating space through utility, and punishing bad positioning. If you're only healing, you're leaving a huge amount of value on the table, and that leads directly into the biggest mistakes most Wuyang players make. Mistake number 1, playing too close. If there's one thing you remember from this guide, remember this. Wuyang gets weaker the closer enemies are to you. When opponents close the distance, you lose time to charge orbs, lose pressure opportunities, and become significantly easier to eliminate. Your ideal position is slightly behind your front line with teammates between you and the enemy. Every step too far forward makes your entire kit worse. Mistake number 2, overhealing. A lot of players spend entire fights staring at their tank. Meanwhile, enemy supports are free to play the game. Your healing orb provides passive healing. That means whenever immediate healing isn't required, you should be applying pressure and looking for damage opportunities. The best Wuyang players are constantly doing both. Mistake number 3, using abilities one-dimensionally. Every ability in Wuyang's kit serves multiple purposes. Guardian Wave isn't just healing. It's healing, it's damage, it's displacement, and it's healing amplification. The more value you squeeze out of each ability, the stronger Wuyang becomes. Now let's break down exactly how every ability works. Primary Fire, the damage orb. Your primary fire launches a controllable water orb that builds damage as it charges, and this is where most people throw away free value. The biggest mistake is releasing the orb too early. Whenever possible, allow 2 ammo charges to be consumed before releasing. A fully charged orb deals more than 3 times the damage of an uncharged orb. That's an enormous difference. You should always remember that the orb deals both direct hit damage and splash damage, meaning even near misses can apply pressure. And when choosing targets, don't default to tanks. Look for supports, look for low health heroes, look for exposed flankers. Pressure on vulnerable targets creates eliminations far faster than shooting a tank with full resources. Secondary Fire, the healing orb. Your healing orb attaches to an ally and provides consistent healing over time. As long as line of sight is maintained, the orb remains active. Lose sight for 5 seconds and it returns to you. This passive healing is incredibly valuable because it allows you to continue contributing damage while your teammate receives healing. When your team needs an increased amount of healing, hold down the ability to create a healing beam that increases the amount of heals. The beam provides more than double your healing output and should be reserved for moments of real pressure. A simple rule: if nobody is in immediate danger, deal damage. If someone is about to die, connect your healing beam to increase the amount of heals. Mastering that balance is what separates good Wuyang players from great ones. Guardian Wave, the real carry ability. Guardian Wave is where Wuyang starts feeling oppressive. When activated, allies receive healing over time, enemies take damage, enemies are knocked back, and healing received increases by 50%. Read that last part again. 50%. That bonus healing applies to all healing sources, not just your own, which means properly timed Guardian Waves can completely swing a team fight. The goal is to position yourself where the wave connects with both teammates and enemies simultaneously. The more targets you affect, the more value you generate. And after activating Guardian Wave, Immediately look for healing beam opportunities. The temporary healing amplification turns your healing output into something incredibly difficult to outdamage. Rushing Torrent. Most players use Torrent only when they're already in trouble. That's a mistake. The strongest use of Torrent is proactive positioning. Use it before fights to reach high ground, take stronger angles, rotate safely, and create distance before threats arrive. It also activates Wuyang's passive health regeneration. This provides around 20 health per second whenever you're not taking damage. Something important to note is Torrent itself does not heal you. It simply allows the regeneration effect to begin. And here's a small optimization many players miss. You could reload during your rushing Torrent ability without stopping your movement. Free value. Take it every time. Keep in mind, since the passive health regeneration will stop the moment you take damage, you proactively want to jump away from heroes such as Winston, who could chase you down and continue to do damage. By creating that proactive space, you allow yourself to not take damage and continue to take that passive health regeneration. Ultimate ability, Tidal Blast. Tidal Blast is one of the most flexible support ultimates in the game. When activated, you or an ally gain 400 overhealth before a delayed detonation occurs 3.5 seconds later. When the explosion triggers, enemies are knocked down, damage is dealt, and additional health is granted. Most players think of this as a panic button, but it's much stronger than that. Use it aggressively before engagement. Use it to protect a diving teammate. Use it to force enemy movement. Use it to create openings. Tidal Blast is most optimal when used on teammates who have the ability to dive or get into the battle very quick. If you are in the circumstance that you feel you need to use Tidal Blast on yourself, you want to use your Tidal Blast first and then activate your Torrent ability afterwards. The timing lines up much more naturally and makes the detonation harder for enemies to avoid, as it guarantees that you will have movement from the Torrent still when the Tidal Blast activates. Perks. For most situations, I recommend the right side path. Balance. Balance improves healing uptime while giving you more freedom to pressure enemies. You spend less time worrying about healing maintenance and more time creating impact. Since the damage debuff, there is a lot of arguments that balance is not the perk worth having, as it doesn't do enough healing when being debuffed. In my opinion, I think that it's still more viable for you to use this, as it allows more uptime for dealing damage, as your healing is increased by 30% per 2 seconds. This brings your healing from 20 to 26 per second. In lower ranks, I do suggest grabbing the minor perk, Overflow. This perk is more valuable in a lower rank setting than a higher rank setting based off of how much damage is taken by your team. In a lower rank, people are always taking damage. This means you run out of your healing resources a lot quicker. When you grab Overflow, it allows you to get those resources back to continue that healing. For your major perk, it should be Falling Rain. Falling Rain does decrease your damage per orb, but with 3 orbs instead of 1, it increases your overall damage output. That reliability creates significantly more pressure over the course of a match, and pressure is exactly what Wuyang wants. Advanced tips. Now for the things most Wuyang players don't know. Guardian Wave accelerates healing resource regeneration. Yellow health bar indicates the target is receiving 50% increased healing from all sources. Majority of supports will die without any perks from 3 direct orb hits. Certain flankers, such as Tracer, can be eliminated in only 2 orbs, allowing you to be able to take that fight with Tracer as long as you maintain space. Target priority matters. A support that is being forced to hide isn't healing. A support forced to use cooldowns isn't enabling their team. By making the enemy support your target priority, it allows you to prevent them from helping their team. Final tip is rushing Torrent can last up to 3.5 seconds. The key word is up to 3.5 seconds. If you're using the ability to reposition or set off your health regeneration, you could use the ability again to stop it. By stopping the ability, you allow the cooldown to start for your next use. To conclude this guide, I want to remind you guys that Wuyang doesn't win fights through raw healing. He wins through pressure, and that pressure forces mistakes. Those mistakes win those fights. You want to master your positioning, maintain the healing uptime, and apply constant pressure. And suddenly, you'll feel like you're controlling the pace of every fight. If you're learning Wuyang, let me know in the comments. What's the hardest part of his kit for you right now? And if this guide helped you, make sure to subscribe. I've got more Overwatch content coming soon, and I'm excited for you guys to see.